What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna go look at that 65 Mustang, walk you guys through some more with it in the daylight. But we're in a winter storm warning and we already have 4 to 6 inches of snow, and so I can't really do anything since it's outside. So today we're gonna be working on the old race truck. We're swapping out radiator, fan, and fan shroud. I got a 3-row aluminum radiator, dual electric fans. We're gonna pull the intake off. I gotta fix an oil leak behind it where the oil pressure gauge used to route from. And then there's a couple other things that were supposed to show up today, but they didn't. I did get a new throttle cable bracket, but I forgot at the house this morning. So probably tomorrow I'll come back and put that on, do a couple other things. But let's get into it. Alright, as you guys can see, I got the coolant draining here. You guys can see I already cut the fan shroud off. It just held up with zip ties. But I'm taking the fan shroud off. This radiator here is coming off. The mechanical fan, and then what's going on in replacing it, if you guys follow my Instagram and TikTok, y'all have seen it already. It's a 3-row aluminum radiator, dual fans. We'll be wiring the fans up probably in a different video. But we also got to pull the intake off. We got new intake gaskets because back there where my mechanical oil gauge used to read, it started leaking because the fitting stripped. So we tried to plug it with whatever we could. Didn't work, so I got to pull the intake off. So I figured while I'm pulling the intake off, I might as well do the radiator, get all that done and taken care of. Alright, as you guys can see, I got the fan off, the fan clutch and the fan belt, or the fan shroud. Got the fan shroud there, got the fan clutch sitting there. It's almost brand new, but it had to go. So now I'm just putting these bolts back in the water pump pulley. That way, that won't fall off until I go to, I'm either going to go to an electric water pump or a different drive style. Got like a serpentine belt drive kit for this. Because the first pass at Bandamere in October of last year, I threw the belt and overheated the motor a little. Didn't hurt anything, but I just would rather not throw the belt when I'm at the end of the track and then have to, or not realize it and drive back through pit row, because it didn't get hot until I got back to the pits. And I went to go start it back up and the coolant temp just spiked. So we'll have to figure something out. And I might have to shave off a little bit off that spacer behind that alternator bracket just to try and get it to where it's lined up perfectly even. But we'll see what I end up doing there. The coolant's still draining. It takes forever to drain out of this thing. I jacked the back of the truck up. That way more of it will drain out of the motor. That way when I pull the intake, nothing gets down in the oil, because I prefer to not have to change the oil yet. But if I have to, I have to, and I'll just have to stop by and get some oil before I can start it back up. But just get these bolts tightened back up. And then, once the coolant's drained, pull this radiator, and then get to pulling the intake. Alright, and I'm back. I did a lot of things off camera. Radiator's out, fans out, everything's tightened back up. Carbs off, spacers off, distributors off, intake. I started to loosen it up, but with how much snow I'm getting right now out here, I gotta head back to the house, and then I'm gonna be back in the morning. But we gotta pull the intake. I got new intake gaskets for it. Then plug that hole back there. We'll probably end up using this port down here for the oil pressure gauge. I'll try and run it up here just as temporary until I get my electronic gauge. Or I'll put a stand back there, but I'll probably just end up putting the plug back there so I don't have to worry about leaks. So it's easier to fix leaks up here than back there. Then I plugged off this hole here. It used to be for the heater core, but as you can tell, don't have that. But if you look, this radiator, if I bring it over here to this other one, you can see the width is good, but the height's difference. So I'm gonna have to either make some custom mounts or put the other radiator back in and figure out what to do with the fans. I might be able to put the fans in temporarily somewhere else until I figure out how to make some brackets for the radiator. And then I took the hood off just for a lot easier access so I can get in there and work better. But most likely I'll be doing the rest of this off camera, at least the intake and resealing, because I mean, there's not really much I can videotape, and it's going to be me and my brother helping me. So once that's all done, probably tomorrow morning, depending on how the weather is, we'll go from there, and then I'll see what else I can do. I'm going to probably pull that plate off, put some silicone around it, and maybe I'll do a couple other things. I removed some lines from down here that weren't needed. But yeah, we'll just go from there. What is going on, guys? And it's a little bit later. I'm headed back home. I just passed Chugwater and I pulled off. I'm going to go over a few more things that I got. That way you can see everything. You can see passenger door here, driver's door there, driver's side fender, another set of bumpers. Then we'll come up here, the fender. This nitrous bottle, it's not nitrous express like all my other stuff, but it is full for the most part. And that'll be the one I'll be mounting first until I get my other bottles filled. But probably, depending on how it goes, maybe a day after work or this next weekend, I'll do some more with the C10, because I got a electronic oil pressure gauge for the truck, and then I got an adjustable proportioning valve for the brakes, because I put the rear disc brake kit on and the rear brakes don't work the greatest, so I'm hoping an adjustable proportioning valve will make it better. That way it'll send almost the same amount of braking to the front or rear, or I can adjust it if I want more front, more rear. That way I can get to stall up at the line and actually hopefully stall close to the 3500 that it's supposed to stall at. If not, then we'll just let it stall it where it's been, like 3200 RPM. And it's been doing fine there, but now that the carb's dialed in, we'll actually be able to get some launches. But if Douglas doesn't open back up, then there's some time trial races up in Shoshone, which is just 8th mile on the street. It's everything shut down. And then April 22nd, Bandimere is opening back up, and I think it's their spring opening night. It's their 65th anniversary or something like that. I forgot what it said on the website, but I'll probably go into that if the truck hasn't broke by then. And there'll probably be a couple videos in between now and then with doing a couple more things to the pickup. Hopefully I can get a video of it on the dyno. I might not be able to do too much recording. We'll have to see what the guys with the dyno say. It's all up to them. But maybe part of this video or next video will be installing the electric oil pressure gauge and the proportioning valve on the truck. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do a separate video or put it in later on this video of installing the nitrous plate and the solenoids and mounting the bottle and everything. We'll just have to see how everything goes.